Welcome everybody. We're about to start in 1 minute with the Verbena technical tips for successful production. Presented by Ivan Posniakov from Syngenta Flowers.
Hello, I think, should I start?
Yes, you can start.
Hello, everybody who joined the webinar today. Hello, every lovers of color, flowers, our customers, our colleagues, and everybody who able to watch this webinar and who have a few minutes. And we starting with the Verbena today. Verbena, it's not a very big crop for Southeast Asia market, but it's very nice, and it should be a good crop because it's very hot tolerant. And here I would like to introduce our assortment. We have a quite huge assortment rather than other breeders. We have already 4 varieties. All that varieties with a complete color range and a very nice color arrangement on the petals. Here you can see the some sweet colors like Obsession Obsession Twister, Twister Scarlet, and Tuscany with a Twister coloration. And so we start with the Obsession. Obsession, you can hear it from the name. If you will see this flower, you will really obsessed of this flower. By the way, all verbena have a very nice scent and it very friendly to pollinators. So that's why it would be a very nice guest to your and to your customers' gardens. When we're talking about obsession, obsession is a very technical crop, very suitable for very high intensity production. And 3 years ago, we intended to split Obsession from Obsession Twister. Formerly, it was an entire series, but because we have a many very nice color with a specific coloration of the petals, we decided to split this series onto Obsession and Obsession Twister. And honestly, these 2 series suitable for the same size of the pot and in general has the same requirements for production and the same features and the same properties. Another one is a Tuscany. It requires a little bit bigger pots and of course it usually and normally it is possible to produce that crop in the same pot size. Here you can see mentioned 9-11 centimeters pot, but Tuscany also can be able to produce in a 12-13 centimeter pots. It's larger, and the Tuscany it's more resistant against the hot temperatures and has a little larger flowers than Obsession and Obsession Twister. And let's go to another one, Obsession Cascade, the fourth one varieties in Verbena assortment. It has more than 12 separate colors, and it is possible to produce this crop in a 2 type of pots, in a pots and big pots, rather big pots from 10 till 12 centimeter, and even in a large hanging basket. But it's not only opportunities for Verbena assortment. Verbena assortment offer another benefits, like it is possible to produce in very intensive production with many crops per square meter with a very quick production time. Later on, I will touch it again. I will talk about the production time for each varieties. And also Obsession can be useful as a landscaping crop. Here you can see a very nice performance in outdoor condition of Obsession Cascade, which looks like a spreading crop and looks like a ground cover crop on the picture. And let's go to the technical team, how to get this nice performed plants. Later on, I will explain you. To the reference, you can find all information about Verbena in the catalog, and please look at this, look at the catalog and find more information about the crop properties. Okay, let's go. Every session, I would like to start with a very famous and very critical item, is a hygiene. Because normally not many growers spend a lot of time, spend many time for the hygiene and many attention for the hygiene. So it for me it looks like a insure habit when we cross in the road, when we use in the cars. These this type of items which mentioned here, it's help to protect your flowers, and it good start to produce the flowers, the produce of plants in the nice condition, and to avoid many problems. And I would like to send this message again. Let's start with clean area and continue with clean condition. What's mean clean area? When we're talking about the seedlings, I mean this area should be cleaned at least one time in a year with a specific disinfection agent. All plants should be removed before you start the production, and make a little gap between last sowing and last seedlings production and the new seedlings production, new cycle of seedling production in the next year. It will help you to start with a clean area, and postponed as soon as it will help to postpone as much as possible inviting of the pests and diseases into your plants. And of course, continue with clean condition. What's mean continue with clean condition? Always take in account that the grower and the staff should keep area clean, to remove all plant residuals, to remove all dusts and all garbage from a greenhouse after while they finish the work. And of course, don't forget to apply these simple things which can help to handle area clean too. I mean, this is a wet mats and hand cleaners and disposable material and disposable tools as much as often as possible. And please take care about the quality of the seeds. Here, I would like to remind you, I formerly already talked about this. Just please keep attention on the seed package while you receive the seeds, and be sure you receive the seeds from the proper suppliers, from the authority suppliers who is presented on the market. Sometimes it can happen counterfeit seeds can come to the market, so please be careful about the counterfeit seeds and counterfeit material, and please check all the mentioned in the packages. Here in the picture from the left side of these slides, the big yellow picture, you can see the all things should be presented on the package, on the sachet with the seeds, and here will help you to recognize the proper and high quality seeds, and to be sure you get that seeds from a proper breeder and from a proper company. And if you see any discrepancy on the packages, please immediately inform customer service as soon as possible to solve the issue and to recognize, is this real seeds from real breeder, or is it counterfeit seed? Let's go to the 5 component of success for Verbena. Honestly, I would like to focus your attention on just only 5 items. If you keep in mind these 5 items, you will be successful with your Verbena. First one is a substrate weight level on the germination stage. This is very critical, and this is very exceptional thing. The good fertigation, honestly, gerbera like to eat the fertilizer. This is really, I have to say, hungry crop as a moms, as a helianthus as well, and pH alternation between the stage. This is maybe the standalone crop from all the range because normally pH should be stable from a sowing stage up to ready plants. But for verbena, it's need to little bit increase the pH after transplanting. Plant compactness management. Sometimes and especially in a very intensive production, plant can be kept very closer to each other. So that's why pay attention to keep plant compact and keep the growth as compact as possible to avoid the stretching and to avoid improper or maybe not very beautiful performance of these plants. So, and protection from the thrips and powdery mildew. This is a very critical diseases for verbena, and if you will be successful with the protection from the thrips and powdery mildew, you will receive very nice plants, as you can see in the lower right corner in these slides. And let's go to observe the crop tips, cultivation tips. And as usual, we started with germination. How to achieve germination rate? Of course, we need to be focused on the trace, on the substrate type, and other. But in general, verbena is not very. It's not very. Crop has too much requirements for substrate and quality of substrate and trace, but there is need to keep in mind only one item to achieve the good germination of verbena. This item it's concerning to wet level of the substrate. And if we will go to another slide, you can see the one of the critical items is a moisture level. It should be kept on the free. It's exceptional level of, if you check other crops, you will see the normal level of the weight of substrate. It should be between 5 or 4. And only verbena requires moisture level on the 3, on the up to 3, not higher than 3. And it should be kept during all germination stage. Okay, if you will keep proper moisture level, if you supply plant all mentioned in the previous slide items, you will receive quite normal germination, about 80-85%. And here I would like to display how to recognize moisture level, because sometimes for many growers, it is difficult to understand what is the moisture level, because honestly, when I'm talking about a 5, 4, or 2, not everybody understand clearly how to recognize which is a stage. There's a simple things. This is weight of substrate, if you handle the trace, and how it looks like from a surface. Let's start with a level 5. On a level 5, you can see on the picture, the surface is glittering. It's totally saturated with water. Of course, it's wet. If you take the trace or you take part of substrate, water will leaking through through your fingers or from the bottom of the trace very easily. You not need even you not need to press it to let the water drop down from the bottom. It start to drop by itself. Level 4. The substrate will get a brown color as well, but not glittering, and you need to press to release a lot of water, and you will see substrate start to release a lot of water from the bottom of the trace. Level 3, honestly, it also will be brown till dark brown color, but if you start to press substrate in a hand, or start to press the substrate in the cells of the tray, you will see just only few drops of water will release. That's a difference between 4 stage and 3 stage. In two-stage, if you press this type of substrate quite strong, you will hear the color. First one, the color is light brown, and if you try to squeeze substrate in a hand, you will see and you will hear just noise of the water. It start to give a specific noise, and you will not see the substrate will not release any drops of the water. And of course, when we're talking about level 1, you will see gray color of substrate and no evidence of water inside of this substrate. This is how to understand what is the water level, because formerly I received some questions on that, on the definition of the wet level. So today I would like to explain, and I explained how it looks like and how to recognize. Let's go to the young plant stage. Okay, we receive a good germination, and now we come into the items, how to supply our plants and how to receive nice young plants which ready to be transplanted into the ready containers. The young plant stage takes about 4, it's quite short, it takes about 5 weeks, from 2nd week up to 6th. The temperature should be in normal level, about 20-21, but here I display in this slide only optimal level of the temperature. And keep in mind, honestly, Verbena is very hot tolerant crop, and it can handle, sorry, higher than 25 degrees. It can handle even 30-35 degrees of temperature. But if you would like to receive very high quality of Verbena seedlings, you have to follow this temperature. But it's not how to say it, it is a rules, but it's not very strict rules. Day extension lighting, honestly, keep beneficial up to 14 hours or less, a little bit less than 14 hours, not longer, because Verbena is facultative short day. In a short day, it start to produce flowers. And light intensity quite high. It already can be 35-45 kilolux. Plant not require a pinching and usually not need PGR. It's very useful crop and very comfortable crop for production. Really, it not need to it not really stretching, and especially if you use another tips of success. I will explain after this slide, after this part of explanation. And moisture level in this stage, it should be increased, and the substrate water level or moisture level should be increased up to 4. So if you're watering Verbena, you have to reach water level or wet level of substrate up to 4, but let the substrate be dry between next or before next watering. Let substrate dry up to level 2. Let's go to the next component of success growth of Verbena. This is a fertigation. Feed your plants well. Because Verbena requires a quite high level of fertilizer. Honestly, it requires even higher than other crops, 75 or 125 ppm of nitrogen. At the same time, in the media, in the substrate, EC level should be from 0.5 till 0.75. It means plant very quickly absorb all elements, all mineral elements from the water. So it should be rather low. Here's a very nice picture here. This difference between quantity of fertilizer you supply the plants and quantity should be rest in the substrate, you will see how quickly Verbena able to absorb the elements. And the media of pH should be 5.5 and 5.9. 5.9. And another question: many of the growers, if they checking requirements and recommendation and growing tip for some of crops, they could find some strange, maybe for some people it can be strange, fertilizer advice, like to supply plants by nitrogen. You can read in read in recommendation, for instance, 75 till 125 ppm of nitrogen. What is mean? How it's to convert? Or what is mean? What means this recommendation? This recommendation means you should apply not only nitrogen, of course. It not meaning you should apply Verbena only by nitrogen. No, it should be considered like a quantity of nitrogen which can be used to recalculate on the total fertilizer. Of course, you should apply total fertilizer with NPK. And here I would like to explain, this is a very oftenly asked question, how to transfer quantity of nitrogen in ppm to gram of complex fertilizer. It's very simple. Honestly, if we consider in Verbena fertigation, we can start, for instance, with a 75 ppm. And if we're talking about 75 ppm, we should give in 1 liter, we should dissolve in 1 liter 75 milligrams, because ppm, its quantity is part of the entire volume of the water. 75 part per million. So it it also can consider as 75 milligram per 1 liter. So if we know how many nitrogen we should dissolve into the water, we can recalculate very easily. For instance, there is a NPK fertilizer available in the storage, like a 15,517 or 15,515, doesn't matter. What means that this number 15 it means percent of the nitrogen mass into the entire mass of the fertilizer. 15% of nitrogen. It means 15 gram in stock in 100 gram in total mass in 100 gram of fertilizer. And it's very easy to recalculate. It needs to know how more you need add nitrogen with all entire fertilizer rather than you already have. For instance, already we have a 15% or 15 gram of nitrogen in the fertilizer, but we need to add 75 grams or milligrams, doesn't matter, into the water. We just have to multiply 15 on 5, and we will receive entire mass because we have a 100 grams, milligrams, and we need to multiply these 100 milligrams into 500 milligrams. So it means half of gram you should dissolve, or growers should dissolve into the water to receive this proper quantity of nitrogen, and to supply plant by other elements like phosphorus and potassium. So I think this is quite simple explanation. I hope this is quite simple explanation. And let's go to the another part of this success component of success with Verbena. Another component is never apply fertilizer with a high level of phosphorus. It can brings a lot of issues because phosphorus can be stored into the substrate and it is able to leverage the pH level, even the pH level, and the rest of the phosphorus acid absorbed into the substrate particles can also absorb other elements and can cause deficiency of other elements. So that's why I never recommend use fertilizer that you can find in the right picture, like 15-15-15. Never use this, please. And another point, never use clean water. Later on, I will explain why. And you see in the water should be in the level 1.7, 2.3. It's rather high. It's rather high for many crops. And for instance, for impatiens, 1.7, it's already critical highest level. But for verbena, it is normal. And here I would like to also display the unit that can used. This is a simple constructed unit, watering unit, to apply the water on the seedlings. Here you can see the small trolleys with installed 2 tanks with a fertilizer and with the acid, and 2 dosage unit that's available in the market, and the hose with the nozzles, and the dosage unit when grower or when staff apply this watering unit, the dosage units start to take fertilizer and acid from the tanks, mix with the water, and you will supply your plant with a fertilizer every time while you start to apply the water. And you can leverage the level of or adjust level of the fertilizer in the water by the mixing unit. And let's go to explanation why really plant shouldn't receive water without fertilizer. Many growers can explain, and sometimes I hear that explanation from some of growers why we should not apply clear water or water without fertilizer, because normally in the nature we have a rain, and in reality rain level of you see in the rainwater, it's about the 0. It can be maybe sometimes 0.3, but in it normally it has a sea level closer to 0. But what we have in reality, in the right picture, in the right upper picture, you can see roots developed in open field condition. It's start to go in deep into the soil. It's quite long, and and the tips, the main thing, the tips of the root mostly placed in the deep inside the soil. In the picture in the middle, where you can see the root in the pot, you can see all the roots in a 9-centimeter pot. And now you can imagine how long water take to came from the top of the from the surface of the substrate to the bottom, to the lowest and to the low tip of the roots. As you know, even from school time, the plant able to absorb water and the elements just only by 1 centimeter of the root tips, because only there are small root hairs which is able to absorb the water and mineral elements. So, and you can imagine, when you applying the fresh water in the small pot, fresh water very quickly touch the roots, and it shocked the roots because it's not able to dissolve anything, because in general mostly we use a empty substrate like a peat or soil which is already watered many times, and the water rinse elements from the volume of the pot. And in other hands, you can imagine how it happened in the nature. In the nature, water with 0 EC came to the surface and start to leak through the soil. And while it's going through a soil, it's absorbed the mineral elements from the soil. And when it reach out the root tips, deep inside the soil, it's already dissolved and it's already bare elements. So that's why even in the nature, even with a zero EC water, plant never receive honestly water with a zero elements, mineral elements. And let's go to transplanting. We already received nice young plants. We supplied them. And here you can see how the example that young plants transplanted already in the big pots. Honestly, Verbena not required to play another size of the trays, and Verbena can be ready transplanted into the finished pots. When we're talking about the finished pots, I would like to remember about the size of the pots suitable for certain varieties. For abscission, it should be 9-11 centimeters. For abscission twister, the same, 9-11. And for Tuscany. But for Tuscany, it is possible to use a larger pot than the 11 centimeters, 12 or sometimes 13. And for abscission cascade, the lowest size of the pot should be bigger, 10 centimeters, and also abscission cascade suitable for the hanging basket, for big hanging basket. And of course, for large hanging basket, it is necessary to plant 3 or more plants in one pot, but normally for 30 centimeter, for instance, it's necessary to put just only 3 plants to feel and to receive the nice, good shaped hanging basket. And let's go to the third component of a success. When you transplant it, you need to keep in mind one very interesting and one very unusual, may to say, feature of Verbena. Verbena requires to increase the pH, but it is very, honestly, it's very comfortable because pH normally increasing by itself. And just keep in mind, if you use a new substrate, you have to supply substrate with a little bit higher pH. And of course, in the water, pH should be a little bit higher, from 5 from 5.5 till 5.9. It should be increased up to 5.8 till 6.2. And in other items, start to keep wet level on this on the range between 4 and 2, and supply good quantity of fertilizer rich in potassium, because potassium, honestly, it's very critical for blooming, and Verbena start to bloom quite quickly, naturally, because it's already on the after 4 or 5 nodes, it starts to produce the flower buds. So that's why normally since through a third or fourth week, Verbena required to receive fertilizer with higher potassium rate than it received before, received normally for the young plants. And another critical things, when we're talking about plant cultivation after transplanting, here I would like to mention some not very critical but famous items for Verbena. Verbena very like the light intensity, because it should require 40-65 kilolux on the surface, on the leaf surface, and supply the good place for Verbena. Not only for Verbena, I would like to advise to apply this approach for many crops. And one main rules you have to remember is to mind the gap. Mind the gap between surface or ground of the greenhouse, or ground of the substrate, and the place where you should put the plant, because this gap give you the nice opportunity to interrupt the pathway of the diseases and of the pests from the soil, from ground level to the plants. This is a very critical thing. This is a very critical item, especially when we're talking about Verbena, because as I explained formerly, Verbena very sensitive to the trips and very attractive to the trips. So if you not supply normal gap between the ground surface and the plants, you had a chance to receive the trips as soon as possible. I think you will not be happy with this, but so that's why I really advise to follow these rules. And another topic I would like to pay your attention in this slide, please cover surface of the greenhouse ground or greenhouse ground level with the plastic, with not permeable plastic, which not how to say easily can easily how to say it, permeable by water or with trips with a small trips, because trips has a two main stage. On the first stage it feeds on the leaves, and after this stage it should goes to the ground. So if you cover the ground, you will interrupt life cycle of the trips. This is a quite simple approach, but it's very beneficial to receive nice and high quality plants. And what about another component? We came to fourth component of success. This is a watering and fertigation management. I would like to remind about never apply clean water, and formally I explained why it shouldn't be. And another topics, how to receive compact, very tough plants, is to apply quite high level of fertilizer. For Verbena, it is normal to receive EC level even 2.5. So the level of 1.8 or 2 will be very normal, and it is not critical for Verbena. And another point, usually complex fertilizer mostly lack of the calcium, or calcium is absent into that fertilizer. So that's why I advise to apply calcium nitrate and magnesium nitrate every 4th-6th watering instead of NPK fertilizer. It will help to produce the more strong tissue of the stems and the leaves of Verbena, and it should protect plant from a lot of too strong stretching. Sometimes, if it is necessary, and especially in the condition when the light not available in a high level, in cloudy weather, for instance, and at the same time, when with this weather, the hot temperature come into into the growing area, it is able to apply even PGRs. So B9 is suitable, water-soluble granules of B9 in a level between 2.5 thousand till 5 thousandths of ppm on the Verbena. And if you see the stretching, and especially in the deficiency light with a high temperature, you're able to apply PGRs as well. And don't forget to check to control the EC. Why it's necessary? Formerly, I already explained it when we talked about the gerbera. You need to control EC and pH just because you feed in the plants. Plants not able to tell you with words and not able to display you that they hungry, or they not provided by proper quantity of certain elements, but the checking will help you to understand, did you apply proper level of fertilizer, or did you apply proper pH to supply the plants all elements. So that's why check first. First step is to check before apply the watering. Is to it necessary. It's very critically. It's very critical to measure the water pH and EC before you give to the plants. So the normal rules: taste the soup before you offer to your guests. because you will be surprised with a reaction if you apply not very delicious soup. So and another thing, check pH NDC in the substrate, because as I explained, plant cannot tell you about is it hungry or is it lack with the sum of elements. So that's why when the plant will show you really deficiency, it means plant necessary already to get emergency activity, some like of application with the spraying of some element solutions or anything. It's already can be considered as a how to say it, reanimation process of the plants. So that's why I advise not to reach this situation, and to prevent this situation, measure EC and pH in the substrate to control how plant consume elements and how plant feeding. And fifth component, I already mentioned 3 times about the trips damage in the trips. How to say it? The Verbena very attractive to the trips. So this is very critical items. Of course, Verbena can be injured by fungus gnads, but by with other insects like aphids and spider mites. But the trips is mostly critical insect that can damage the plants so quickly, maybe within a few days. And honestly, sometimes grower surprised maybe when they check day before. They not see any evidence of the trips, and within a few days they came to the Verbena plantation again, and they see, oh, these trips already here. So to prevent the trips, I advise to apply the chemicals even preliminary, and application should be repeated after 5-6 days because of the life cycle of the trips. Because from the larva stage, trips should go into the substrate, and after transformation, trips back to the flowers, to the plants, and start to feed in the flowers, and start in this stage it mostly mostly consume the pollen, and after the multiplication process, it brings egg, and cycle repeats again, and the entire cycle takes about 5-6 days. So that's why I advise apply the chemicals every 5-6 days to interrupt and to decrease if the trips already in the surrounding area of the greenhouse, to decrease the trips population in the greenhouse. And of course, follow the rules I mentioned about I talked when I talked about the phytosanitary and about hygienic. Remove all the pests, because the remove all the weeds, because weeds is the host, it's a good host for the trips as well. So that's why if you not checked, if you not scout properly every corner of the greenhouse, if you leave some weeds in the corner of the greenhouse, you will create the host for the trips. If you apply the chemicals on the plant, trips can very easily move to another plants, feed there, and back to the plants within 3 days or 2 days or 3 days, when the chemicals finish to effect on the or when the chemicals will be decayed. I advise to apply the chemicals with the active ingredient thiamethoxam, spinosad, and chlorantraniliprole. Here I display the mass and the quantity of active ingredient, and you can very easily to found in the internet the chemicals which contains these, because I understand in different countries there are different availability of chemicals, and allowed chemicals for this region. So that's why check the chemicals with these kind of active ingredients. And let's go briefly about the integrated protection. This kind of protection is help to avoid any problem before it will come to your plants. This is very honestly, this is quite simple advices. In the picture from the left side, you can see very good equipped greenhouse, and even the people go to this production area. They should change their clothing to protect the plants from the pests they can which can bear on the clothing. I not advise really to reach very high level of hygiene, but follow to integrated protection. Apply, for instance, as a minimum, apply sticky traps in a greenhouse. Here in this picture, you can see the many very often, very frequently applied and very how to say it, very oftenly applied sticky traps. Also UV traps with UV light, which available in the market, can be used as a attractor to the insects inside the greenhouse to remove the insects from the plants and to kill that insects. And apply the chemical, not only chemicals, even the biological agents as well. It can be helpful to receive a healthy plants. And of course, keep your greenhouse clean. Here you can see the very clean floor. So honestly, it is can be reached in the normal condition. If the greenhouse placed in the open area, in the forest, doesn't matter. Just covered ground of the greenhouse with a plastic, and every day or after work, clean with a just remove all residuals of the plants and of the substrate from the surface, and you will keep your greenhouse in a clean condition. And another one, disease management. Here I would like to show you table with active ingredients can be applied against the critical diseases for verbena. The most critical diseases and is of course powdery mildew is last one. Honestly, I mentioned here just only the two active ingredients, but honestly, other ingredients like azoxystrobin also, it's already mentioned. All of strobilurins also active against powdery mildew on verbena. And finally, we almost came to the ready plants. We protected them, we supplied them with a fertilizer and all kind of condition, and now we're ready to see flower buds in our plants. So the main advice is, of course, to increase the potassium level in fertilizer. As I explained, for verbena, it's even able to apply it from a 4th or 5th week after transplanting. And of course, don't forget to check pH and EC in the substrate and in the water. And here I would like to display the timing in the different pot size for each verbena varieties. Here you can find how long it takes, and here you can find the number of weeks which is suitable to create your own scheduling, crop scheduling, and own production program. And I think I touch most of critical items for verbena. I would like to wish you good success with your crops in your area, and enjoy our verbena. And I would like to check how many questions we receive, or whether we receive any questions in the chat. Michael, please, can you help me to read the chat?
Yes, Ivan, thanks. Currently, there are no questions in the chat, so please go ahead.
Okay. This year I would like to finish with a presentation. I hope this presentation and this session was valuable for the growers. And thank you for your time. And please reach out your key account manager in your region to understand what kind of seats available into your place. And please reach out me with a mail if you have a question on the Verbena. Thank you very
Very
much.
much. Yeah, and let me add to that. Please also reach out to your designated key account manager to assess any country access restrictions that might occur for your market due to our production locations. It's always good to check this before we start setting up any trials or business. So make sure that we comply with every country of origin regulation, and we're happy to help you in that analysis. So Ivan, thanks again for a very insightful story. I again learned a lot, and I wish to thank everybody for joining and have a floriferous day. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. See you next session.